How's everybody doing today? So, scripture for the day. Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 16:10. Hope y'all are having a great day. Thank you for joining me. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, we got something cool to show. So, as everybody knows, whenever you're driving on the road, a lot of times you need to stop by a gas station to get some extra air. When I was a kid, those things were like 75 cents and they would stay on forever. Now it seems like every station it's like $2.50 and it only runs for like 2 minutes and then you're done. Or you go to a QT and the hose is just broken. Like somebody else just doesn't know how to put things back how they found them and it's ripped off, or even the little Schrader valve to press into your wheel is broken. Any number of things. So today I picked up something that I think a lot of people will benefit having, especially if you already bought into Hercules system as I have. I have Hercules impacts, drills, and a couple of other things offhand. Harbor Freight's a really good place to save money whenever you need something and you just want it to work. And the compressor that I bought actually comes with a 90-day warranty. There's no further warranties on it, but from what everyone says, if you use it and take care of it, it lasts quite a while. So I think the longest one that I've seen somebody else have one is like 3 or 4 years. So yeah, here it is. So this is the Bauer air compressor. So it's a 20 volt inflator and deflator. So the inflator deflator portion of it comes with a tube. So if you want to inflate like a mattress or pull toys, things like that, you lock this into here. And I don't have anything like that to inflate or deflate, but there's plenty of other videos on that. And there's a light at the end. Oh, you got to turn it on. Comes with a light. It's not very bright, but it's kind of a cool thing. So the operation of it, we'll break it down real quick, take you through how long it takes to air 80 psi. Now the specs on it state that it can go all the way up to 160 psi. But given the size and the dimension of what I can see through the front of it, I'm never going to actually use it for that because it will take longer than the 10-minute run time or cycle time that the Bauer service manual tells you that you're supposed to run this thing. So whenever you run it, the duty cycle is what they call it, 10 minutes at a time. And then you're supposed to leave it off for 10 minutes before you go back to using it for 10 minutes. Now for me, on my truck, 295 65 R20s, and they're 10 ply rated, which means that they are steel belted on the side. Don't mean to make y'all dizzy. Oh, here we go. Max load for a single tire is 4,080 pounds. And there's a 550 kPa again, and that's at 80 psi cold. So what that means is whenever the truck is not warm or you haven't been driving around, you can air this tire safely up to 80 psi. And 80 psi, it'll haul or hold 4,080 pounds by itself. Another number down there was a dually, so you can run these tires for like a dually setup. And you're supposed to inflate them to 80 psi, but if you're in a dually type setup, each tire is rated for slightly less, and I think that's just for safety concerns, because when you have tires that butt up against each other, and I'll show you real quick, tires that butt up against each other like this is my work semi truck for the time being. At the bottom, if there's a load on it, that's where they will touch, right here, right there in the middle, right when it reaches the floor. So to safely operate a dually type setup, your tires need to be inflated to the proper amount, but they don't need to be overloaded, because there's a certain amount of squish that's still going to happen whenever you're weighted down. You can kind of see it right here, just a little bit. But whenever a truck has a dually type setup, it will squish out on the side. And this is my front tire, just so you can get more of a view of why it's so squished. And the reason why my front tire is squished is because I air my tires down so that they wear evenly. So, but anyway, so all of that just to say that I need to safely be able to air up my tires to 80 psi at a moment's notice. All right, so what I'm going to test, and we're just going to see how fast it can get this rear tire up to 80. I'll speed the video up, and then we'll circle back around, talk about it. So the first thing you need to know whenever you get this, you can also plug it into a cigarette lighter. So storage down here, you can wrap it around, put it over here if you need to. I got it all to fit in one side. So the first thing first that you do, if you're going to use anything, you press the power button, obviously. There's your light function. You have to hit the power button if you're going to use the light. You put your air chuck on, and that's back here. It also includes a couple fittings for different types of setups. Has a needle as well, like for footballs and other things like that. But you turn it on, you set your pressure, say 15, 16, 17. To the left is when it'll do air pressure for the actual, for like a regular Schrader valve, and to the right is for the inflator deflator. My current pressure, I'm going to test it with a professional air chuck. Now this one's a little bit bigger than the ones that you'll see usually around the parts stores, just because this one can handle pressures all the way up to 150, 160 psi. It's meant for a truck, like a semi truck. So we're going to test the pressure. I'm going to do it all in one shot, so I'm not pulling any funny business on y'all. Take it off. And for one of these, that's two, because if you're on a dually setup, the other one is how you test your inside tire. But for this one, we just press it in right there real quick. We are sitting at about 45, 50 psi. So each of those lines represents about 2 psi, so 2, 4, 6. Okay, so we're almost at 50 psi. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to do it in one shot, so I'm not pulling any type of crazy things. We can take this off for now. Comes with quite a bit of static hose length. And then it tucks away. There's some space to tuck it away and push it down. So pretty good size length. And then also, thing that I did forget to note about this unit is that you can turn it on and set your PSI, set it up to go, and it'll actually cut off whenever it reaches the desired pressure. So we're at 47 now, and then we're going to set it up to go all the way up to 80, and we're going to see how long that takes. So you can stick this on here. You have a readout that it shows, and it currently says that it's at 46 psi. I'm going to set it. You set your desired psi. Go all the way up to 80. We'll go to 78. Yeah. I don't want to overinflate the tire, so 78, and here we go. So while that's doing that, I just wanted to say that I don't expect this thing to be lightning fast. I know there's better inflators out there on the market, but for the price, if you already have all the other tools from Harbor Freight, like Hercules, then you already carry around everything you need for the battery itself. And a lot of these tools, they have lasted me pretty well for everything that I need to do. And the biggest one that I have, and I'll just show you, it's a 12 AH. And for that one, I've done, I think, 5 or 6 like really big jobs, and I've only ever had to fully charge it twice since I've had it, and I've had it for about a year now. They warranty their batteries for 3 years. I know a lot of other companies, I'm not sure how the warranty process works, but if it doesn't work with Harbor Freight, you go in there, swap it out, no questions asked. 66.5. So initial impressions, I was after 10 minutes, and according to the service manual, you're supposed to have 10-minute duty cycles, which I kind of expected that it wasn't going to get it all in one try. I mean, so far as I used it for the airbag video that y'all just saw, as well as the air safe video. So I'm going to wait 10 minutes, and I'm going to swap out the battery for the larger one. So one thing that I can tell, it doesn't feel hot to me. The actual tool itself, it doesn't feel like it's heating up very much. It's kind of a cool day, and the touch, like, it feels warm, but it doesn't feel like it's having to work too hard. So this is the difference in the battery. This is a 5, this is a 12. So as you can see, a little more off balance, but this one's still fully charged, and I've done several different jobs with it already. So we'll plug it back in once it cools down, continue the video. Alright, so now we're sitting at about 65.5 PSI. And we'll take it all the way up. You have to manually press it. You can't hold it down. So, something to know. Like I said, we're going to go to 78 PSI, just so I don't overinflate the tire. Alright, so as you see, it's at 79.5, which I set it to 78. Okay, it's at right about 80. So it's about a PSI off, but it did shut off early. So one cool thing that you can do whenever you're deflating, so to speak, you can monitor it, open the cap off, and then lock it again, and you can see it actively go down. So another thing to note is whenever you are using this battery did not go down. The other battery that I had was this 5 milliamp hour, or not milliamp, but 5 amp hour. It went down by about a bar. Now when I left my house this morning, it was sitting at like 3 to 4 bars depending on how I did it. It went down 1 bar after 10 minutes of continuous use with this. So just something to note. And yeah, I'm gonna set up the other side. I'll show you what I do. I'm gonna grab my jack, and literally all I'm gonna do is get the back wheels off the ground by just a penny, like maybe an inch. So turn it on. It's currently at 42. Scooch up closer. And we will take it up to 78 like before. So it died. The battery died literally. You'll probably see the transition real quick, but the battery literally died as it was finishing. So I set it to 78. It went up to 79.5. So let's double check. Grab my chuck. All right, so it says that it was at 79.5. Let's see what it was actually at. This is reading, excuse me. Yeah, it's reading about 78 because there's a little extra line there. As far as the compressor itself, you can feel that it's warm. Like it got significantly warmer on this side, but it still did a pretty good job at everything. So click it off, and then you hold this down. Oh yeah, and then you can also change how you read it as well, just by clicking that. I choose to use PSI, so hold it down and it'll turn off. But yeah, overall, we're going to use this to deflate it here in a second, but overall, pretty good compact compressor. This will help. Say my recommendation for this compressor would be mostly for passenger cars. Something where you don't have to go all the way up to 80 psi all the time. If you do all the time, I would suggest something like the M18 inflator that Milwaukee has. That one has really good times, and you can do multiple, almost commercial level wheels with that one. But if you already have the system, the Hercules system or the Bauer system, anything from Harbor Freight, you already have all the batteries. For $40, you could literally buy 2 or maybe 3 or 4 of them for the price of the M18 inflator or a DeWalt inflator, and then still have money left over to get back home with gas. So yeah, I might purchase a second one just because if I can cut my time in half from where I was right now, then that'll be worth it to me because I have all the other tools regardless. And then yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. And oh, and one last note before I go. With the big battery, it went down 1 bar. Now I have done other jobs with this, so take that as you will. And yeah, see you in the next one.